Hello, it's Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady, and this is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where I get to answer your questions about tax liens, actually, about tax lien investing. Actually, it's where you get answers to your questions about tax lien and tax deed investing. So as you come on, just say hello, tell me where you're from, because you know that tax lien and tax deed investing is different in every state. So when you ask me your question, it helps me to know what state you're from or what state you're investing in. Okay, I have some great news for you guys, and this is news for you too, Nicole. We are going to be doing this every week except for next week. I won't be here next week, but I was just doing this the second and third Tuesday of the month, but I am going to do this for you every week. And so, hopefully you guys will come and give me your questions. And hi, Jeff. Well, thank you for listening. I know you're working today. You won't be able to actively participate, but yeah, thank you for listening. And thank you for being here. So as you guys come on, just say hello and let me know what state you're in and give me your questions that you have for me about investing in tax liens and tax deeds. And I just had an announcement that I'm going to be doing this every week instead of only the second and third Tuesday of the month, and except for next week, because next week I won't be here, but I am going to start doing this every week for you so that I can answer as many questions as I can. And hi, Steve, good to see you here. Okay, so what else do I have for you today? First of all, I want to let you know that now is a good time. I think maybe the best time since 2008, 2009 to get involved in tax lien and tax deed investing. Why is that? Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but that housing market, the real estate market, is taking a dive. We were in this huge bubble. It kept expanding and expanding, and the Fed helped that out because they kept rates really low for a long time, okay? But that encouraged the super inflation, and for them to stop that super inflation, they had to do what they should have done a long time ago and raise the rates, okay? Now, when they raised those rates, it really, really they didn't raise it much, okay? But what happened is it's hurting the housing market, but that's only one factor. The real reason is that people have been paying too much for properties, and now it's correcting. And it's going to correct in a big way because our economy is not doing very well, and it's going to get worse, okay? So it is no longer a seller's market. It is no longer a seller's market. We are going to be in a buyer's market pretty soon. So that means there are going to be more tax deeds and tax liens in the marketplace. And it also means that some of the competition is going to go elsewhere, okay? The reason there's been super competition at these tax deed sales is because real estate investors were having a hard time finding property. One of the things that makes for a seller's market is a lack of housing available, a lack of houses available. And this was true not only for retail houses, for people, houses that were ready for people to move into, but also for bank-owned distressed properties. There just wasn't a lot available. Okay, so real estate investors were fighting over these and going into the tax deed sales to try to get these properties. Now, as more of these properties become available at affordable prices for real estate investors, they're not going to have to go to the deed sales, because when they buy at deed sales, they can't even look at the property. They don't get a warranty deed. they're going to want to push the easy button and get a warranty deed and buy from the owner and actually be able to look at the inside of the property before they buy, and buy properties that are not as distressed as properties in tax sales. So not only will there be more available, but I'm thinking there is going to be less competition at the deed sales. Now, that is also going to be true for the lien sales, but for different reasons. There's going to be more available at the lien sales because people are not going to be able to pay their taxes, okay? And the other thing is that who's the competition at the lien sales? Where in the lien sales, it's hedge funds. But hedge funds can put their money elsewhere. When the rates go up, they can get good rates in other things that they don't have to do as much due diligence for as they do with tax liens. So we might see some of those hedge funds look elsewhere as well, which would be great, right? So as rates go up, you're going to see more available in these tax lien sales and hopefully less competition, okay? You still have to know where to go. That's where I come in. I go to out of the way places. I teach my coaching clients how to get the results of past tax sales so that they know where to go and how much money they need to get started. By the way, another announcement I have for you guys, tomorrow night is our next wealth building webinar. And tomorrow night, I'm going to be talking about why now. I'm going to go into it more in depth than I just did. Why now is the best time to invest in tax liens or tax deeds, okay? And in the webinar that I'm going to do tomorrow night, we'll also talk about how much you really need to invest. Some of you want to know how to get started with a little bit of money. Some of you want to know how you can invest a lot of money in a short period of time. We can talk about both those tomorrow night. And Nicole has just put the link in to register for the webinar. It is free to come live. If you want the replay of this wealth building webinar and all of the other wealth building webinars that we've done over the past 3 years, then become a member of wealth building webinars. And Nicole can put the link in there for you as well to find out more about wealth building webinars. Sometimes, a lot of times, I have a guest do a wealth building webinar on a topic that is not only can it be something to do with tax delinquent properties or tax lien investing, but it all could be something to do with wealth building in general or paying off your debt faster. Hey, I got into a lot of debt when my husband was laid off during COVID, okay? And I am digging myself out. You know, that's a bad analogy. I'm climbing out. I'm not digging myself out, right? I'm climbing out. All right. And I'm able to do it at a pretty good rate. Okay. So when I find experts in areas like experts in the economy, experts about how to save your money, experts about how to pay off your debt faster, experts about how to invest with a self-directed IRA or the best retirement account to have, all kinds of things like that. I ask them to be a guest for wealth building webinars, to host one of our webinars. And also I get people with investment opportunities. Okay, a couple of the webinars that we've had this year, we've had, one of the last ones that we've had was about an opportunity in one of the hottest markets in the country. Another one was about how to change your money mindset, actually how to work with your own money DNA to get over your money blocks and start building wealth. Okay, we've had webinars like that. So if you'd like to get the replays of those webinars, because the wealth building webinar, the webinar that we have tomorrow night, they're free to come to live, but if you want the replays, You've got to be a member, and it's only $49 a month to be a member of Wealth Building Webinars. And Nicole has put the link in there for you. So, all right, I know we've had more people come on, and you haven't said hello to me and tell me where you're from. Steve and Jeff have said hello. Hello, guys. Thank you for being here, and thank you for coming on and saying hello. So say hello, tell me where you're from so that I know what state you're in, because investing in tax liens and tax deeds is different in every state. And then I want you to tell me, what is your biggest challenge to investing in tax liens? If you haven't gotten started yet, I want to know why, okay, and how I can help you. If you have gotten started yet, I want you to tell me. Tell me if you've bought liens or deeds and what state you've got them, and what you need help with. Okay. So hi, Peter. Nice to meet you. From Raleigh, North Carolina. North Carolina is a deed state, and they do things a little bit differently in North Carolina. Good to meet you. All right. So that being said, guys, the reason you're here is to get me to answer your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds. Well, if you don't have questions to ask me, I can't answer them. All right. Hi, Marilyn. From Atlanta. Yeah, it's been a while. And Georgia is a redeemable deed state. It works a lot like liens, except they do bid up the price of the property, and you get a 20% penalty on your entire bid amount. I really love states that do that. They give you a penalty on your entire bid amount, and it's a 1-year redemption period. But you do need an attorney to foreclose, just like you do in lien states, even though Georgia is a redeemable deed state. Hi, Patricia. You're also in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, good to see you again, Patricia. You just did the workshop that we did, the 3-day workshop. So did you get information in that workshop that helped you? Okay. So yeah, and we have more people on now than we did in the beginning. So you haven't all said hello yet and told me what state you're in, and I haven't gotten any questions. So, okay, bring it on. Bring it on. What's your question? Okay, thank you. Pat, she says great info. And that was from, we just did a workshop, a 3-day workshop on, it's called Tax Sale Success. And we focused on the tax sales that are coming up now, how to find out about them. I gave tools for people to find out what tax sales are coming up across the country and actually filter the list of properties in the tax sale. Once you decide where you want to invest, I gave you tips on figuring that out. Where's the best place for you to invest? And then you got 15 property reports a month to actually look at the properties in the sale. First, filter the list down by different criteria that I help you, that I also help you figure out. Look at the properties in the sale and then determine which ones you want to bid on. Yeah, we just got done with that, and I don't know when I'll do the next one, but this one is available. It's a $997 course. Okay, and Nicole has just put in a link for the workshop if anybody is interested in the workshop. Now, it also comes with 30 days in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, which gives you access to all the workshops that I do. So for 30 days, if you purchase this workshop, if you enroll in this workshop, you get this workshop, all the recordings, all the resources that I have in there, which include a checklist for doing your due diligence, a template for tracking your liens, and a lot of other information. Okay, and all the recorded videos that we did. You get all that for a lifetime for this workshop, but for 30 days, you also get all the other workshops that I've done. And I've done workshops on redeemable deeds on specific states like Texas and Michigan. I've done workshops on online deeds. I've done workshops on online tax lien sales. So you get access to all of that for 30 days, plus access to tax sale finders, which is the resource that I use to find out what tax sales are coming up around the country and to actually look at the properties in the sale. Now, my coaching clients get 50 property reports a month, 50. When you get your 30-day trial into the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, when you get the workshop, you have 15 property reports a month, but coaching clients get 50. So let me ask you guys a question. Who would like a coach, a tax lien investing coach? Does anybody need a coach? If you do, put in the comments, coach. Okay, and everybody else, I want you to give me your question. What is your question? Have you started yet? If you haven't started yet investing in tax liens or tax deeds, what is holding you back? I want to know, because I want to help you get over it, okay? Because now, as if you weren't here in the beginning, okay, I talked about why now is the best time to start investing in tax liens and tax deeds. And here's the thing that I didn't mention. This is not going to go on forever. This is a window of opportunity that's going to close up. All right, it's going to open up, and then it's going to, I don't know how long it's going to stay open. Okay, but it's not going to stay open forever. All right, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to the replay of this when we're done. All right, so we have some questions in here. And Stephen, here's what I want you to do, because you put coach in there, you want a tax lien investing coach. I want you to go to, and we'll put this link in there for you, taxlienlady.com/mentoring application, and fill out that application. You'll get a link to schedule a 30-minute session with me so that we could see if coaching is right for you or not. I will tell you guys, if you don't have at least $10,000 to invest, you probably don't want to hire a coach. You probably want to do it yourself. Okay? But I can help you do that too. Just become a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator and get the tools and resources that you need. All right? You're not going to get any coaching from me, but you can come here to the lives that I do. All right. Malik asks, how do I get a tax lien list from Union, New Jersey? You call the tax collector there. And are you talking about Union City, in Union County? Remember that in New Jersey, each township, each municipality has their own tax sale. You don't call the county clerk and ask them this information. They're not going to know what you're talking about. You've got to call the township tax collector. Okay. Now, here's how I do it. I don't do that. That's too time consuming. I use a resource called Tax Sale Finders. Now, I give my members of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, I give them access to this resource where they could find out what's coming up all around the country, and they can actually filter that by the type of sales they're looking for. So if you're looking for a certain sale in New Jersey or what's coming up in New Jersey in general, you can actually filter that just for New Jersey and look for the tax lien sales that are coming up in New Jersey. Okay, so we have some more questions. Steve says, is it practical to target specific types of properties like multifamily, mini storage, mobile home park? Oh, yes, it is. And you could do that with tax sale finders, Steve. Very easy to do with tax sale finders. And as I said, my coaching clients get access to it, and so do members, but coaching clients just get to look at more property reports per month, and they get coaching from me. Okay. Okay, Pat says she's looking at Michigan today. Yes, the Michigan deed sales. Those are deed sales, and they're going on now. They end the first week in September. So if you're interested in Michigan, you want to get on it. Okay. Okay. Steve, Nicole put that into the comments for you to the link for to set up a profit planning session with me. It's taxlienlady.com/mentoring application. And she put it in again for you as well. Yeah, Union there, Malik. There's a few Union, New Jerseys in different counties, and so you're thinking about Union City and Union County. I have been to that sale. I think now it's online, which is really a shame because when it was live, the tax collector, it was a huge sale. I mean, the room is full. There's over 100 bidders at that sale, but the tax collector used to bring coffee and donuts. So that used to be a good sale to go to, but I believe now it's online. All the online New Jersey sales, by the way, are on realauction.com. And I showed how to navigate that in the workshop that I did. Okay. So Nicole has already put that in the comments for you. If you're interested in the workshop also gives you 30 days in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. All right, Peter says, I'm still learning and trying to figure out how to use unique exchange for residential land opportunities in North Carolina. You know what, Peter, I don't know if they do anything in North Carolina in unique exchange. They are a tax lien platform. North Carolina is a deed state. So I don't recommend them for that, okay? If you need a coach to help you with North Carolina because it's a deed state, it is not a lien state, and it is done very differently than other deed states. But it's also not as competitive. They don't have as much available in the counties, but it's also not as competitive. But it's a different process. And if you want a coach for that, then use the link taxlienlady.com/mentoring-application. Remember, it's a deed state, so you need a little more money than you would need for liens. Okay. Yeah, I suggest that you have more than $10,000 to invest in North Carolina. 20, 30, even $50,000 because you're actually buying the property at the sale. Okay, let's see. Did I miss any questions? I don't think so. So let's see. And if you weren't here in the beginning, you didn't hear me say that I am going to start doing these every week, every Tuesday at 2 p.m., except not next Tuesday. Because next Tuesday I won't be here. I am going to be in a leadership course that I'm currently in, and I have all day training next Tuesday, so I won't be able to do this. But I will be here the following Tuesday and every Tuesday that I can after that, okay? So I want to be doing this more often for you. Yeah, and I don't think I missed, I'm just looking at the chat to see if I missed any questions, but I don't think I did. So, okay, and Peter's asking, could you still buy deeded land in North Carolina instead of properties? And what would be the minimum capital you'd recommend? Yeah, you could buy the land instead of houses, but you're actually buying the property in North Carolina. Yeah, and then you might be able to do it with 10 or 20,000, even 10,000 might be enough for that. But I would have at least 10,000. Remember, the land has to be valuable. It has to be buildable. Or what are you going to do with it? How are you going to make your money, right? Yeah, and it'd probably be an easier process on land than with houses because In North Carolina, you have to wait a 10-day period. After you are the highest bidder, there is a period of 10 days where somebody can outbid you. And if you're just bidding on land and not houses, you have a better chance of not getting outbid and getting the property sooner. Okay, any more questions? I am here to answer your questions. Okay, but I had a question for you, okay? And I don't think I got an answer. First of all, what is stopping you from getting started if you haven't yet? I want to know what is stopping you from getting started. Okay, Marilyn is asking Pennsylvania sales. There are a ton listed on GovDeals-Lancaster, PA. I would have to check that out. What has happened during COVID, Marilyn, is a lot of the counties have gone online to different platforms, to different auctioneers. And so sometimes they just go to an auctioneer and have them do the sale. But I've also noticed some of them went on to bid for assets and they're being auctioned right along with the sheriff's sales auction, like the foreclosure sales auctions. So you just want to make sure that they are tax sale properties. And you also remember there are two types of sales in PA. There's an upset sale and then the judicial sale. You want to make sure you're buying in the judicial sale. If you are buying in the upset sale, you've got to make sure there's no other liens on the property, because if you buy in the upset sale, you're responsible for any mortgage or lien that's on the property. It doesn't go away. What happens between things that don't sell in the upset sale go into the judicial sale. In the judicial sale, what happens between the upset sale and the judicial sale is that notifications are made to the owner and all the lien holders that it's going into the judicial sale. They can pay the taxes and keep it from doing that. And if they don't, it gets sold in the judicial sale and their lien goes away. Their lien is expunged or wiped out. Okay, so you want to buy in a judicial sale, and if you're buying in the upset sale, you need to check and make sure there's no liens or mortgages on the property. Okay, so I would do some digging at that website and see just what type of properties, what type of sale they are. Okay, because sometimes these auction companies also do the foreclosure sales. What tax deed states do I recommend getting started in? Well, Michigan is going on right now. I like Michigan. Pennsylvania is also good, but you want to target the judicial sales. And let's see, what other deed states? Louisiana, but you have to put a deposit on a property, $850 deposit on a property in Louisiana if you want it to go into the deed sale. And as long as you bid on it, if you're not the successful bidder, you will get your money back. But if you put that deposit on there and you don't bid on it, you won't get your money back. So make sure you're going to bid on it when you do that. And what other states are good deed states? New York. New York has a lot of online sales. Sometimes they actually let you look at the property before the tax sale, like the inside of the property. They actually, if it's vacant, they'll actually let you inspect it. They'll have a day to do that, where they'll let everybody do that before the tax sale. And they have seminars too, sometimes the day before the tax sale. So New York is a good tax deed state also. California is a tax deed state, but property prices in California are very high. Washington, but there's not a lot available in Washington at the Washington sales. And Idaho, same thing, not a lot of good properties available in Idaho. Nevada is a deed state. I haven't really looked into the properties though in Nevada that are in the deed sales. And some of the other counties that are lien, or the other states that are lien states, also have deed sales. Indiana has deed sales as well. And Arizona has deed sales as well. As lien sales. And Florida. Florida is another good state for deed sales. They have them all the time. Because when you buy a lien in Florida, you don't just get to foreclose on the property after the 2-year redemption period. You have to apply for it to go into a tax deed sale. And so there's a continual feed of these tax deeds going into these auctions. So there can be auctions in Florida like every week in some counties. It is competitive though, but you know, something to look in for. All right, Marilyn is asking, don't they lower the prices on subsequent sales? And Marilyn, are you talking about Pennsylvania? No, they don't. They don't lower the price on the, they lower the price if it doesn't get sold in either sale. If it doesn't get sold in the upset sale and it goes onto the repository list, then each county has their own minimum that they'll accept. And if you look at the repository list, you'll see that the things that get on that list are junk properties. I do not recommend, you know, these tax sales have been so competitive that there's not much left over if you go to good areas in PA. Now, if you go to the West PA, Western PA, where you're far away from big cities and it's very rural and property values are lower, then you might find something on that repository list. But last time I looked over that repository list in one of the counties, and I forget even which county it was, I looked at Monroe a long time ago and nothing good was there. And I looked at another county south of here. It might have been near Lancaster County, but it wasn't. I forget what county it was. And you know what was on that list? Mostly trailer parks are on that list. So if you want a trailer park, go ahead, look at those lists. But if you're looking for, like, there was no good single family home, not even a good buildable lot that was on that list. You know, it might be land next to the highway or a trailer park. That's what you're going to find on that list. If that's what you're looking for, go for it. Okay. All right. All right. So any other questions? Any other questions? I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. We have a few people on here today. It's always more fun to do this when we have more people asking questions. And I notice we have more people on now than we did before. So if you missed the announcements that I gave earlier and some of the questions that I answered, just go back and listen to this replay. It'll be, as soon as we finish this call, it's going to be here on Facebook. We're also going to put it on YouTube because not everybody likes Facebook. Okay, and some people get kicked off of Facebook, right? So we also put this on YouTube for people to watch the replay. And we also put it on Vimeo because you know, I don't own any of these platforms. Somebody else does. And you never know when they're going to decide they don't like what you're saying and take you off. So hopefully they won't do that here, because I believe that I'm providing a service to you guys and answering your questions. So hopefully they'll let me continue to do that. Okay, so any more questions? Any more questions? As long as there are questions, I will go for at least 45 minutes with these calls. I think the shortest call that I've done when I had no questions was 20 minutes. I had a couple of announcements, but no questions. And usually they're at least 30 minutes long, but I'm hoping to make these longer. I'm hoping to go to 45 minutes. So come with your questions. We will not be here next week, but I plan on being here every Tuesday after that to give you guys more value and be here to answer more of your questions. So if you need a coach, if you're stuck and you haven't gotten started investing because you don't know where to start and you have at least $10,000 to invest, then go to taxlienlady.com/mentoring-application. Fill out the form so that I can find out more about you, what state you're in, how much money you have to invest, what your goals are, right? And then you'll get a link to schedule a 30-minute call with me. It's free, okay? But then you can learn, I can learn about you, exactly what you want to do, and then I can help you figure out if I'm the right person to help you with that. And I could tell you what programs I have that might be right for you. Okay, does that sound good to you guys? Does that sound good? Is there anybody else in here that wanted a coach besides Steve? And Nicole, you could put that link in again for them to get a call with me. All right. And don't forget tomorrow. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Good to see you here. Mary was also in the workshop that we just did. And Mary, if you came on late, you could listen to the replay when we're done. And anybody that needs a coach can use the link that Nicole just put in to fill out that form. And there was something else I was going to ask you to, oh, the webinar. And tomorrow night, we're doing a webinar on why now is a really good time, what I would consider the best time to start investing in tax liens and tax deeds. I think things are going to open up. There's going to be more available, less competition as the market, the real estate market, crumbles, okay? It is no longer a seller's market, guys. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I've been seeing it everywhere. Okay. All right. And Nicole has put a registration link in you for tomorrow night's webinar. I hope to see you there. And I hope to see you here 2 weeks from today on Facebook on Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow night and in a couple of weeks. Oh, and thank you, Peter. Yeah, just fill out that form and let's have a conversation and see what's good for you right now. Okay, bye.